Her words used to set the page on fire, but a viral backlash over her latest film adaptation forced Petra Rose to take a hiatus, resulting in missed deadlines and an overdue mortgage. Branded a fraud and fame-hungry opportunist, she learned the hard way what happens when the internet turns on you. And she's been uninspired to write ever since. Now, with her next suspense novel outlined and savings nearly gone, she retreats to a secluded lakeside cabin, hoping to find inspiration. It's Petra's last-ditch attempt to save her career, and herself. Then he shows up. Detective Nathaniel Saint arrives with disturbing news, his presence igniting a creativity in her she thought long since burned out. Petra's words return in a rush, and her fictional cop character begins to mirror the very real cop who's becoming her muse. Their research sessions blur the lines between fantasy and reality. Each glance, every touch pulls Petra deeper into a world she thought she'd never lose herself in again. She's never felt more alive. But inspiration this powerful comes at a cost. When Saint starts taking his role in her career a little too seriously, Petra's forced to confront the chaos she created. But doing so could cost her more than the reputation she's been trying to salvage. The reputation the world wrote for her, the reputation only she can reclaim.
After 2 decades of learning at the Nexus, the children of Van and his crew are ready to take their first steps out in the Big Black. Aboard their new ship, the Anadarko, the young officers begin unraveling a mystery that goes beyond the depths of time. Where did Gabby's people come from? And why does life, scattered across the gas giants, all sound so familiar to her? Under the capable guidance of Rab, a seasoned peacemaker, the young crew pursues science and knowledge, even as Van and Tarina push back against a threat that originates on Earth itself. Politics is a dirty business, and with Constance Plowitz's retirement, the scramble for control of Earth's future falls into the hands of someone who sees the Fist of Orion not as a partner, but an enemy. But Van is 2 decades older and wiser, and the crew, along with Perry, Funboy, and Icky, are that much better at their specialty, dispensing justice. There are old friends, new faces, and a power struggle whose roots go back to when known space was young, empires were old, and war was the answer.
On the evening of July 27, 1890, Vincent van Gogh, aiming for his heart, shot himself with a revolver. He missed. Today, Vincent van Gogh is considered one of history's most brilliant artists, revered by millions the world over. However, he sold only 1 painting in his lifetime, spent years in insane asylums, and died penniless in a garret. Haunted by his failures, riddled with addiction and debilitated by mental illness, Van Gogh eventually took his own life. What were the circumstances that led to such a fatal decision? In this innovative first novel, psychologist Orion Taraban explores the final days of this tragic figure from the perspective of those most involved. His brother and caretaker, Theo, his friend and physician, Paul Gachet, and Vincent himself. It is a story of madness and art, loss and meaning. Like Camus' The Stranger, it is a philosophical novel that presents a model of reality that listeners can experience directly and immediately. Take this unique opportunity to see the world through Vincent's eyes. Once you listen to Starry Night, you won't look at life the same way again.
Laurel's family was never simple, but her half-sister Abigail, a brilliant, unpredictable psychopath, just made it lethal. Accused of murdering their father, a man she always called a monster, Abigail claims self-defense. As the trial unfolds and long-buried family secrets explode into headlines, Laurel's hard-won privacy is shattered, and the nightmare is just beginning. Even as Abigail's trial consumes public attention, new dangers close in as the murder of a prominent scientist and the illegal poaching of a rare Pacific plant point to something insidious. Laurel turns to Washington Fish and Wildlife Captain Huck Rivers for help. But the deeper they dig, the more the case seems to echo the chaos unraveling Laurel's world. Laurel faces an impossible choice: trust Abigail in one crucial, treacherous alliance, or risk losing everything. Her career, her relationships, even her life. The clock is ticking, and if the threat breaks loose, nothing will be fast enough to stop it.
It only took 6 months for the life of Special Agent Dwight Chambers to crumble around him. First, he lost his partner, and then, tragically, his wife. Returning to work at the New Orleans field office, Chambers is dismayed to find himself saddled with mentoring a brand new FBI agent, a certain AXL Pendergast. As Chambers tries to pull himself together, his enigmatic and exasperating junior partner pulls an outrageous stunt that gets both of them suspended. Pendergast welcomes the banishment because it gives him the opportunity to investigate a peculiar murder in Mississippi that has captured his fancy. Chambers grudgingly goes along. What starts off as a whimsical quest swiftly turns into a terrifying pursuit, as Chambers and Pendergast uncover a string of grisly ritualistic killings that defy any known serial killer profile. Thanks in large part to Pendergast's brilliance and unorthodox methods, they solve the case and find the killer, and that is when the true horror begins.
From nightmares to knighthood, the true war starts now. Bryn has conquered the nightmares that once plagued him, and now his goal is to master the power of his class, illusion, with a new skill that lets him split his mind and juggle multiple thoughts. His imagination is the only limit, but time is running out. War looms as 4 nations unite against the Queendom of Arcana. The Witch, Queen's undead army, threatens to destroy everything in its path when Bryn is summoned by the leader of an order of knights. He's plunged into a conflict that will shape the fate of the world. Bryn's glass and illusion magic are getting stronger, but his greatest advantage is a dangerous secret. The Allied Kingdom's strongest warrior, a paladin, is actually Arcana's spy. Will Bryn reveal the secret to everyone, or wait for the perfect moment to strike? One thing is certain, Bryn's trump card may be a secret, but Arcana has secrets of her own.
Waldo is ravenous, horny, blunt, naive, wise, impulsive, lonely, angry, forceful, hurting, perceptive, endlessly wanting. And the thing she wants most of all, Mr. Corgi, her creative writing teacher, with the wife and the kid and the mortgage and the bills, with the dead dreams and the atrophied looks and the growing paunch. She doesn't know why she wants him. Is it his passion, his life experience, the fact that he knows books and films and things that she doesn't? Or is it purer than that, rooted in their unlikely connection, their kindred spirits, the similar filter with which they each take in the world around them? Or perhaps it's just enough that he sees her when no one else does.
Sometimes enough is enough. Debbie Mullen is losing it. For years she has compiled all of her best advice into her column, Dear Debbie, where the wives of New England come for sympathy and neighborly advice. Through her work, Debbie has heard from countless women who are ignored, belittled, or even abused by their husbands. And Debbie does her best to guide them in the right direction. Or at least she did. These days, Debbie's life seems to be spiraling out of control. She just lost her job. Something strange is happening with her teenage daughters. And her husband is keeping secrets, according to the tracking app she installed on his phone. Now, Debbie's done being the bigger person. She's done being reasonable and practical. It's time to take her own advice. And now it's time for payback against all the people in her life who deserve it the most.
We are in the era of the Pauls. Love them or hate them, you can't ignore them. Welcome to our universe. I've never personally said the words, F the Pauls, but plenty of people have. My sons have spun this mantra into multi-million-dollar empires. To me, it captures the wild and often chaotic era we live in, and how my sons turned some of their biggest losses into their most legendary wins. Before they were stepping into boxing rings, wrestling in the WWE, and breaking the internet with viral stunts, Jake and Logan Paul were just 2 kids from Ohio with big dreams and a camcorder. As their mother, I've seen it all. The highs, the heartbreaks, the headlines, and the hate. Faith in God, unshakable positivity, and a whole lot of resilience haven't just helped me hold on to hope for my family. They've kept me sane in a digital era, which is a dangerous place. This is the story of what really happens when your kids become famous overnight, when the internet turns against you, and when you have to hold on for dear life as your kids build empires, battle legends, and redefine entertainment as we know it.
Everyone knows the golden rule of business. Don't bang your business partner, especially if he's your brother's hottest-in, hockey star best friend. But when the sexy single dad athlete saves me from a cake contest catastrophe and shows me how good he is with his hands, I blurt out the world's worst business pitch. Want to invest in my bakery?
With no loan or backup plan, this is my last shot at proving I'm more than my past mistakes. And shockingly, he says yes. We set one rule: don't mix business with pleasure. Except Corbin Knight's impossible to resist. When he's not scoring goals, he's staying up late with me to test tempting recipes, braiding my hair before we bake like it's foreplay, giving me his jersey to wear to games. I try to keep a professional distance from the bossy, possessive, and dangerously flirty hockey player, but soon we're testing the limits of the kitchen counter. This bakery is my chance to finally get my life right, so I fight the messy feelings. Until one night, he shows up after closing and admits he can't stop thinking about me. Suddenly, I'm ready to break every rule, no matter the cost to our dreams. And breaking the rules has never tasted so good.
The mission to destroy the enemy gateway was, literally, a smashing success. Except the pirates were too late, and now not one but two of the enemy are loose in the galaxy. And they are equipped with starships more powerful than Valkyrie. A direct fight would be hopeless, so the pirates must rely on wacky ideas from the mushy brain of a monkey and some serious sketchiness.
How far would you go for a second chance? 5 years after her husband, Owen, disappeared, Hannah Hall and her stepdaughter, Bailey, have settled into a new life in Southern California. Together, they forged a relationship with Bailey's grandfather, Nicholas, and are putting the past behind them. But when Owen shows up at Hannah's new exhibition, she knows that she and Bailey are in danger again. Hannah and Bailey are forced to go on the run in a relentless race to keep their past from catching up with them. As a thrilling drama unfolds, Hannah risks everything to get Bailey to safety and finds there just might be a way back to Owen and their long-awaited second chance. Your neighbors have secrets. How far would they go to keep them? You press send and your message disappears. Full of secrets about your neighbors, it's meant for your sister, but it doesn't reach her. It goes to the entire local community WhatsApp group instead. As rumor spreads like wildfire through the picture-perfect neighborhood, you convince yourself that people will move on, that this will quickly be forgotten. But then you receive the first death threat. The next day, a woman has been murdered. And what's even more chilling is that she had the same address as you, 26 Oak Park, but in a different part of town. Did the killer get the wrong house? It won't be long before you find out.
Welcome to the Night Bus, emergency transport for the stranded witch or wizard. Just stick out your wand hand, step on board, and we can take you anywhere you want to go. When the night bus crashes through the darkness and screeches to a halt in front of him, it's the start of another far from ordinary year at Hogwarts for Harry Potter. Sirius Black, escaped mass murderer and follower of Lord Voldemort, is on the run, and they say he is coming after Harry. In his first ever divination class, Professor Trelawney sees an omen of death in Harry's tea leaves. But perhaps most terrifying of all are the Dementors patrolling the school grounds, with their soul-sucking kiss. Having become classics of our time, the Harry Potter stories never fail to bring comfort and escapism. With their message of hope, belonging, and the enduring power of truth and love, the story of the boy who lived continues to delight generations of new listeners.
FBI agent Gardner Camden is an analytical genius with an affinity for puzzles. He and his squad of brilliant yet quirky agents make up the Patterns and Recognition (PAR) unit, the FBI's hidden edge, brought in for cases that no one else can solve. PAR's latest case involves a militia group stockpiling weapons. When their confidential informant in the case is killed, it quickly becomes clear that the militia did not kill him. As the squad looks into the evidence surrounding his murder, an unidentified man is caught on camera with their informant. This mystery man's picture is connected to another case at the FBI, an unsolved series of murdered women buried in the ground in North Florida. Could they have uncovered a serial killer? And if so, what is his connection to their CI? As PAR juggles an investigation into both the dead women and the militia, they enroll a new informant, only to find the case escalating in dangerous ways. How will PAR handle a case that increasingly looks like a terrorist plot? And in the serial case, with no puzzles or witnesses and few leads, how will a group set up to decode riddles be successful?